All right, before I go into the watch list for Wednesday, which is going to be January 4th, I'm going to give you a quick trading lesson here. This AGRX, you can see on the daily, it was pushing down lower, right? Kind of an ugly candle. Look at the volume there. But what I want to show you is, notice this little pop at the end of the day where all of a sudden a lot of volume comes in and it ends up closing at 5. A lot of traders, a lot of rookies don't realize this is a signal to get long and hold overnight. And I bought 20,000 shares right at the close. And I'm going to cash in on this big time tomorrow, I suspect. Because it's just, that's shorts covering, and that's, I'm just kidding. I don't know why I do that. It's trading at $1.33 in after hours. Just another example of why you don't hold anything overnight. But if you're going to hold something overnight, make it a real company, not a low-priced biotech. That is super, super dangerous. And again, I don't know why I do that. Actually, I do have something I want to share with you guys from today. IDXG. I want to go to 2-minute candles here. This time I'm serious. I'm going to 2-minute candles and show you. So let's count these candles. Right there. 4 candles in, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 candles in. So this is the 2, 4, 6, the 7th and 8th minute. This candle right here. I got to slide this over because I swear I never recovered from this. As it started back up here, on this candle as it was forming, I saw it and I knew if this thing went red to green, it was probably going to squeeze, right? They did a reverse split, so it's got a tiny float. They actually had news with Blue Cross Blue Shield and so on. So I throw these orders out there. I just had my quantity set at 4,000, so I threw 4,000 first out at 524, and it was just past that. So then using the trading ladder, or that's called the matrix on TradeStation, I just scooted my mouse up and tried to get another 4,000. Or I should say I tried to get 4,000 at 529 since I missed 524, right? Again, this candle is you can see what time it was. 6 minutes into the session, right? 6 minutes and 13 seconds, 6 minutes and 18 seconds. And again, this was the 6th and 7th minute right here. Anyway, you can see the quantity filled, empty. Didn't get filled on either one of these. And if you watch this today, you know what happened. The thing went over 14 bucks. And I was trying to get 4 or 8,000 or both. I would have been happy if they both filled in the $4 or $5 and I don't know, 526, 27 area between if you average the two out. I don't think I ever recovered from that. Someone on Twitter said, well, why didn't you just change your order again? Well, I didn't want to chase, right? I teach people not to chase, and I don't want to chase myself. So the only way in then would have just been to I don't know, maybe a market order. I just can't get myself to chase. I refuse. I'm 100% disciplined while I'm in front of my screens, and that would have been breaking my rules. And my other reason for not changing my order was I could not see the chart clearly through my tiers. So that was it was a tough one. It was a tough one to take. And now, by the way, in after hours, this closed at 8:53, and after hours, it's trading at 6:80. So you can see how crazy things are out there. But man, that would have made my month. I could have taken the rest of January off. Anyway, so let's go to the watch list. And real quick, we'll start with the SPY, the daily. And we're still pretty much, after this big move here, kind of flagging. Nice bounce off the 20-day. If you go to intraday, you can see a pretty strong close, right, for the last 20 minutes or so. So anyway, since we have no shock events on the SPY, then I just build my watch list as usual. All right, so here's what I have. CNAT, really nice support around 520. Closed pretty close to its highs. I zoom in a little bit. It looks like a little bit of a better flag. But you had this huge move, and now you're really flagging. So that's on long watch. CYCC was on watch for today. It just no volume came into it, no trades in it, but a nice strong close. So it goes back on long watch for tomorrow. It's really holding up well. MSDI, another one, really had no volume today, but on an intraday basis, it did get a little bit of a pop there near the end of the day. And it was already on watch because it had, 4 sessions ago, it moved from 115 to 351 on an intraday basis. Now you got a little bit of a bottoming tail. So, if some volume comes in, I think that one's worth watching, even though tiny volume in it today. XGTI, this one's pretty beaten up. It's kind of forming an island down here, but it had a nice volume on this day, 3 sessions ago, that went to 167. Pretty nice volume again today with a high of 162. So I do like it over today's high, 163, knowing that might take it through this 167 and push it up into the gap. So that's kind of an interesting setup on XGTI. IMGN, pretty long list today, by the way. Had the big pop. It was on watch coming into today, and it ended up flushing and then ended up closing back near its high. So I love it if it breaks today's high over 210. You have yesterday's high just above is another possible catalyst, 215. So let's keep our eyes on IMGN. FBIO was on watch for today. No trades in it for me, but a strong close. And so I want to watch this one. All right. Kind of reminds me, you can't really compare two different symbols, but kind of reminds me of CNAT, right? Had the gap up, sold off for a few sessions, and then ripped. Again, I don't want to give the impression that I think this is going to do that as well, but you gapped up, sold off for a couple sessions, and showing some strength. So certainly want to watch this one going into tomorrow. XBIO, this one, it's super interesting to me, but this big volume candle here is only 77,000 shares. It'll show you how thin this thing is. But man, the chart is super interesting, right? Just nothing. All of a sudden, yesterday meaning last year, you had the pop and it closed near its lows, and then today an inside day closing near its highs. The volume's just so light, I don't think it's going to give a trade. I think it's going to be too spready. But man, I love this over 550. Could just rip through this, and it's got a tiny float, like a million or so in the float. So I am going to watch it. Maybe it gives a setup, but I expect that one to be too spready. But we'll see. KOOL was on watch today, and now you just got another day that it was down after the big pop on, again, tiny volumes. This one might just turn back up tomorrow. Another low floater, DRAM, not KRAM. We had the breakout that we played on this day right here. And then it really ripped on big volume. Now it's come back down to retest that breakout area and the 20-day on much lower volume than on the breakout. So I think this is worth watching as a turn back up now that it's retested that area. We'll see, right? Only with a proper intraday setup. TWLO. This one, man, it made its way all the way up over $70 and has been selling pretty much ever since. Pretty good volume today. It's almost down to all-time lows. You can see it hasn't been trading for that long, so it came public in June. But definitely, I don't know, 3-4 solid red days. I don't know if it's going to get down below where, to all-time lows, but it's certainly overdue for a bounce. I'd love to see it flush down near these all-time lows and look for a bounce. But anyway, I think it's worth watching. CBAY. Now, this one is on watch because in after hours, it's trading at 261. All right, so that's all the way up here. They had news after hours, and so certainly worth watching as a potential gap and go tomorrow. And lastly, I've got URRE. That I don't know why the chart is not coming up. All right, let's go ahead and scratch URE from the watch list. I don't know what the deal is there. This says not entitled. I just have no clue what that means. So anyway, I was interested in it because it's a uranium play, and UEC broke out today, as did LEU. So I'll try to figure out what's going on with that, but I'm not getting a chart, so I don't know what the deal is. Maybe you want to watch UEC or LEU, but those feel like chasing, and URRE really hadn't broken out yet. So it was sort of a sympathy play to those two. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. We'll work together in the chat room tomorrow to build a list of potential gappers. Like today, we found IDXG. It was my #1 watch, and it just slipped past me. So before I start crying over the microphone here, I'm going to go ahead and kill this, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. Have a good night.